Hi guys, I'm Gasha. Welcome to the channel. Welcome as always to our coffee times to discuss books and horror. And today I am here, as you can see by the title, to give you some book recommendations. These are all books that have media in them. Now I'm not talking about diary entries, newspaper clips, all of that good stuff, which I also absolutely adore. We're here to talk about, VHS and DVDs and phone apps and all that cool stuff.
It's coffee time.
Internet, social media horror, VHS tapes, apps, all of that capture the unease that humanity has when it comes to technology and how things are improving. I mean, we are now getting to the era of AI and it's getting quite scary. Technical innovations create a lot of change and sometimes even fear. So we're here to talk about it today. From things like a VHS tape that we had in The Ring, we also have now chats and apps and other type of technology that might be hunted, other type of technology that might be trying to kill you. Even though books that have the internet or apps might feel relatively new, society, humanity has been fearing technology for ages. It's not really something new. Are technical tools good for us? Are we pushing the boundaries too far? Are we going to regret some of the things that we are creating? Are we playing with some dark forces that we shouldn't be messing with? Even all the way back to 1818, to Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, we already see there what happens when humans are trying to be gods, when humans are trying to push the boundary between what is natural and possible to using some sort of technology, electricity, to recreate life. The book created the conversation of how far are we taking things, and imagine this is back in 1818. That is such a long time ago. So this is nothing new, even though the internet and a lot of apps and new technology is still coming out and it feels super new. Today I'm here to give you 10 book recommendations that feature some sort of media. Some of them are kind of older media like VHS and other ones go to more modern apps. So I hope that there is something here for everybody, and let's get to the 10 media book recommendations. First we have Skylines by Todd Kessling, and this is a horror novella. In 1987, a congressman takes his own life, commits suicide on live television. There is a rumor that suicide was taped, and it becomes almost like an urban legend that the tape is roaming the internet. It is called Duncan Tape, and supposedly the cameraman that recorded everything uploaded it somewhere on the dark webs. So now we have something that is supposed to be roaming around in some chat forums, but nobody has actually ever seen the tape. So does it exist? The rumor also has it that whoever watches this tape will end up committing suicide against their own will. Fast forward to Robbie and his friends are spending a Friday night together. They're partying and they decide to watch some pornographic material, but instead the clip that they get is something very different. Now, similar to with The Ring, because they have watched this tape and there is supposed to be a curse on that video, something might be coming for them. So this is going to be perfect for people that are looking to a story similar to The Ring, since it does involve a kind of cursed, not really VHS tape in this case, more of a clip video, but it has kind of the same vibe, and it's also a horror novella, so it is on the shorter side. Next we have Unboxed by Brianna Morgan, and this is paranormal horror. Greg is a paranormal horror vlogger and his livelihood is paid by his content, so he's always looking for the new video to record. Unfortunately, one of the videos that ends up going viral is one that he didn't want to go viral, which is a fight that he has with his girlfriend on camera. That causes him to lose a lot of subscribers, so in order to try to fix it, he purchases a mystery box on the internet, trying to recover all of those subscribers. But when Greg opens that mystery box, he's gonna get more than he bargained for. This touches on the classic paranormal tale, but it adds a little bit more of nuance to it because we do have a vlogger, which is a fairly new concept, even though we are all now familiar with it now. Next we have The Girl in the Video by Michael David Wilson, and this is another horror novella. A teacher receives a very disturbing video, very revealing video. He keeps getting the videos and he is getting paranoid because apparently somebody knows things about him, about his life, that he's trying to keep secret. He doesn't know who's sending those videos to him. He doesn't know who's that person. How could they know? But he knows for sure that if somebody else figures out what's going on, he's going to lose everybody he loves. We have here a classic blackmailing tale, but in this case we have a blackmailing through videos that have been recorded. So yeah, another horror novella. So if you're looking for something short, this might be another one that you might enjoy. Next we have The Ghost of Annie Close by Amy Cross. Annie is one of the biggest music stars. However, she tragically dies. After her death, people that were posting mean things about her online, that were talking really bad about her, start mysteriously dying. So the question is Annie punishing the people that have talked bad about her on the internet, that have spread false rumors against her on the internet? Is she taking revenge from her death? The character that we follow in the book is Rachel, who thinks that she has been targeted by Annie, so she's going to try to figure out how to stop her before it's too late, because so far everybody that Annie has targeted has ended up dead. The book is a tale of the horrors of the modern world, what we would do for fame and also the cost of it, and about how some of the comments might affect you, the comments that you see online, the negative ones, the hate ones. So this is one that is very current because we do have here a social media horror. Next we have a book, an Italian book from the 70s that already kind of predicted the dangers of social media back all the way into the 70s. And I wanted to include this book here because of that, and because maybe not everybody knows about the book, but it has been translated into English. The book is called The 20 Days of Turin by Giorgio De Maria. We are in a church that serves as a sanatorium, and some of the people that are working there, that live there, decide to create something called the library, and it is supposed to be a place where people can share their experiences. It's kind of like personal diaries that people can post or write, so that they can share similar experiences with others that might be going through the same. But then people start confessing really ugly things. It turns into tales of the macabre almost, and people that have been using this library realize that their privacy has been compromised, and they also start to lose their sanity. So here is where we have a really big parallel from that in the 70s to social media, which I think is quite interesting. It ends up culminating in a kind of psychosis where people kill and people lose control of themselves. So it ends up kind of like in a massacre, and people trying to stop this library and the malice, the powers, the evil powers attached to it. So I urge you to check it out if you haven't, and if this sounds good to you, because sometimes it's really nice to see what it was like in the 70s and how some almost futuristic concepts are kind of true nowadays. Next we have Ghoster by Jason Arnott. Kate has been ghosted by her boyfriend. They were supposed to move in together, but when she gets to the apartment, it is empty and there is no trace of Scott. Only his phone is left behind. Kate feels a little bit weird going through Scott's phone, but she has no other choice since there's no other way that she can possibly find him. So she goes through his apps and everything that he had been checking out. Of course, she ends up discovering things that she didn't know about Scott. That is the beauty of social media apps and the phone of your partner. But then trouble really starts when Kate receives some phone calls where just people whisper to her. There are some weird markings in the wall that she cannot explain, and she has the feeling that someone is watching her. So this is great for people that love this kind of psychological thrillers. This one might be a good one for you. Then we have The Mansion by Ezekiel Boone, and this is sci-fi horror. The story follows two programmers that are going through a rough patch. We have Sam and Billy, they're best friends, and they decide together to create sort of like a new computer, a new version of a computer. They name it Eagle Logic, and while working together they have, disagreements, they have fights, and their relationship kind of goes downhill and they kind of split up. Sean decides to still take Eagle Logic and turns it into a very successful company, almost to the level of Microsoft and Apple and all of that, while Billy, his partner, is bankrupt and is going through a very, very rough phase. Sean decides to resurrect a program that he created together with Billy back in the day called Nelly, but the program is supposed to be like a high-tech program that lets you control everything inside of your house. But Sean realizes early enough that this program has something in it that is evil, and he's going to need to call Billy asking for help to crack the code and try to end the evil once and for all. So this is quite a modern story because we are talking about computer science and about high technology, things that allow you to control every little thing inside of your home. So this might be perfect for people that are looking for a more tech approach to horror. And of course, I needed to mention here, Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke by Eric LaRocca. It is so far my favorite tale by him. It is also a novella. It is now compiled together with other stories. I think the copy that only had this story is no longer available. But this story in particular is about two women that meet on a chat, and things don't go quite as you would expect. There's not too much I can tell you about it because it is a novella and it's one of those that the least you know when you go into it, the better. But it is one that the moment I started reading, I could not stop. I could not put it down. I was disturbed. I was engaged. And it is one of my favorite horror novellas. So if you have not checked it out yet, make sure to grab a copy. Moving on to We Had to Remove This Post by Hannah Vervotes, and this is a queer horror novella. This follows a group of young people that are basically hired to monitor content, and the type of content that they watch is quite disturbing, it's quite macabre, and they have to sit and watch this content every day for long periods of time. And this causes our main character's friends and family to start acting weird. And then she starts to realize, why is this content not affecting me at all? Or is it? Have I changed? So her job basically is to review really offensive, violent pictures and videos and stuff like that. So these might be a little bit intense for some people, but it is another great horror novella. And the last one is Little Eyes by Samantha Sheplin. And this is one that I have on my list since I heard about it. People recommended this one to me and I am dying to read this book. I think I'm gonna pick up a copy in the original language because it was written in Spanish. In the book we have something called Kentuckys, and these are stuffed animals almost like Furbies that have a camera and a system installed inside of them, so you can watch everywhere from anywhere, and it allows you to dive deeper into people's lives. You can either own a Kentucky and let other people into your life, into your house, and see what you're doing, or you can pay to watch and be the voyeur and kind of see what other people are doing in the intimacy of their homes, at stores. Anything is possible. Of course, this type of technology would have some advantages. It might even help to solve crimes because you can see everything everywhere, but also has negative effects. So I am so intrigued about this one. It's also a really cool concept to have these Kentuckys, and that you can choose to either own it and let people see what you're doing every day in your life and follow you around absolutely everywhere. Or if you want to be a voyeur and pay and watch other people while they're doing their stuff. Like, it's just such an interesting concept. And with YouTube and other things that we have nowadays, social media, we are letting people into our lives. We are sharing part of ourselves, of what we do. So this would be like a step further. And I think it's a really interesting concept. So it's one that I definitely want to check out myself. Alright guys, so these were 10 book recommendations of horror books that include media in one way or another. Some of them include social media, which is a little bit more relevant right now and something that I guess a lot more books are going to start doing as years go by. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down below if you have any other social media book recommendations or books that include media in one way or another that you like. I hope that you found something on this list that triggered your interest. And as always, you guys, I will see you in our next coffee time. Bye!